X, X.
Okay, here we go, peeps. You guys ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna share screen. Okay, so I want to give you a little background for just a second. So when it comes to listings, um, so Eleni, right? Right? Okay. So not just her listing, everybody's listings, right? The question always becomes, if you're not getting showings on your listing, is it because your price is too high? That's the first trigger that everybody goes to, is that the price is too high. And that is not always the case. A lot of times it's actually not the case. And this was hit home again last night. I was working on the $3 million listing, and the seller is slightly questioning my price, sort of. He's kind of like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And he's just kind of in panic mode, right? That's just what he's doing. And I'm like, well, I will double check. So I get back on. I was going through, now that I've seen his home, I was going back through all of the comps, everything, all the competition. So everything that's on the market, everything that's sold in the last 6 months, and everything that's pending. So I kind of split those up, and I was just searching. And when I go back through and look at comparables, I am looking at them through the lens of, am I better? Am I worse? Right? That's just the best way to do it. It's like the high-low game that used to be on television, right? Is it higher? Is it lower? That's the eyes that I'm looking through, because yes, you're looking at price when it comes to making adjustments and what the appraiser is going to do, but you're also, if you're having a problem selling something, or you're concerned about the price that you're going to put it at, it has a lot to do with, what is the market demand going to be? How popular is my listing going to be? And essentially that's just what it is. How popular is my listing going to be, right? Am I better? Am I worse? Well, when I looked through the comps last night for this $3 million house, the things that were selling at under $3 million were 10 years older. So ours is 2015. So there's a bunch of like 1995 stuff. That's 20 years older. 2005 stuff. Well, back in 1995, 2005, the cabinets were all dark. The colors were all brown, which is kind of coming back in, but not fully in our area yet. So those comparables, I'm like, well, yeah, who wants a 6,000 square foot house that they're going to have to go do a 6,000 square foot remodel on, right? Who wants to pay $3 million for that? They don't. So you end up having to discount that listing because of the condition, right? Or the finishes that are in the home. Whereas the listing that I have, it is all like the farmhouse style, updated white, the white cabinets, the nice whiter granite, the stuff that is, of course, in the popular arena at the moment. And what I have noticed for things that go listed and pending very quickly is that anything that is in that type of arena sells a lot faster than the stuff that is older or has those older styles and older colors. So just an observation when you go through and look at the comparable properties. Okay. So it's not always price. Not always price. So Alina has been, I have the hardest time. Alina,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yes. Tell
Okay,
me
good.
again.
Eleni.
Eleni. I
Yes.
will get it. Give me like a couple months. Eleni. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. So she is gracious enough that she has a listing that she was concerned about. She's been on the market for just over 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks last week when we discussed it. And she has had one showing and dead. Right. So she's like, do I drop the price? What do I do? What's going on? So we're going to take it. I'm going to share a screen now. We're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to give you my professional opinion about what I would do. And I'm not pulling comps. Okay. So this is not going to be a price thing, but you pulled comps. If you felt comfortable with the comps that you had, it's probably not a price problem, because there are many things in here I can tell you to do that are not going to be price issues. Okay.
We're good.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so professional photos, you guys, it is worth the $100, $150. Put it on your credit card. I don't care. You have got to pay for professional photos, okay? If you don't have a photographer or you can't find one, make one up. Meaning I didn't have one. the person that I found to do professional photos for me actually did portraits. She did family photos. She did senior photos, right? And she did an amazing job. I now have her exclusively because she does so awesome. Okay. So professional photos, very important. Okay. Okay. We don't want this picture. We don't want to see the garbage inside the garage. This is not going to pull anybody in to want to see this house, to see the stuff inside the garage. What you want to do is close the garage and move the car. Okay? And move the garbage can. We're not selling a car, we're not selling a garbage can. We're selling a house and a garage, not their crap. Okay? So, redo on there. Again, we've got the car in the photo. Everything else here is okay when it comes to kind of the angle, but the really hard thing is you can't. So if you take photos yourself, what you can't do is get that wide angle that you need so that you can be able to see the perspective of how the house is sitting on the lot, right? The whole house. We're seeing a picture, like a piece of the house, not the whole house. So it needs to be backed up, or you need to get a wide angle lens, or you need a photographer with a wide angle lens. I will ask my photographer, because she loves me, I will ask her what program she's using and what type of lens she's using. She researched it when I hired her, and it is amazing. It is not fishbowled. You don't want something that distorts it, right? But you want something that's going to be able to show an accurate picture of the layout. Okay, again, we're not selling a truck and we're not selling a hose. So move your body and go move it. Okay, ask them to move their truck out of the way. And we're also not selling the neighbor's house. I mean, it's not a bad idea to have this picture in because you want to see the proximity to the neighbor's house, so it's not shocking when they come to look at it. So that's not a bad idea. But we don't want the junk in the way, because this is the problem. When you have stuff in photos, what's the first thing you look at? The stuff, right? And what do people remember? The stuff. They don't remember the house. So you've got to get rid of the crap. We don't want this either. We want to see the house. I don't want to see the street. Like, we don't need to see a street. They can look up Google Maps. They can do the street view, and they can see exactly what the street looks like. You want to back up and you want to show the house. And especially, well, I'll get to this in a second. We're going to talk about order of photos as well. Okay? So same thing. I mean, flags, maybe okay, but I'd probably take them out, honestly, and then get the truck out of the way. I don't know what this is. This isn't a good angle. So you want, when you're taking photos, you want full shots, right? So at the very backyard. You want to be at the very back of the yard if you're going to take a photo so you can see how big the yard is, how it's sitted. I can't tell what this is. Is this the right side? Is this the left side? Is it next to the garage? Is it next to the house? I have no idea, right? So it's not
Backyard,
drawing me.
right?
It's what?
It's the backyard. That's their yard.
That's
That's the
the
only
whole
part of the
backyard?
yard. That's the whole
Okay.
backyard.
Is this the neighbor's house?
Yep.
So then I would take it from a corner, from here looking back. So all you see is this house and the yard,
Okay.
maybe, or this corner looking back, something, but you don't want the neighbor's house in the picture.
Okay.
Okay, you just want this house in the picture. Again, I wouldn't even put this photo in. I know it's an alley. It looks like you have alley access, is what I'm guessing.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, but all I see is garbage cans and another neighbor's house. So then you're just like, wow, this house is so close to everybody. You're not highlighting the house at this point. You're highlighting the street, because we're already on picture 9. And please don't have a heart attack because I'm being mean. But we're already on picture 9, and I have seen nothing about the inside of the house and nothing that is drawing me to want to go see this house. Like, if I was coming to your area, this would not make my top 10. I
Now,
wouldn't
what
want to go see it.
perspective are you looking at? Like, are you looking from a realtor's perspective? Because we're used to seeing all sorts of,
Okay,
pictures.
so I'm looking from where you get your knowledge is from showing houses, right? So listen to the peeps when you're showing your houses and see what they're saying. See what they like, see what they don't like, see what the things that they highlight. Those are the things that when you do a listing, those are the things that you're going to highlight, right? People love kitchens. People, like, what is this? Is this the front yard or the backyard? Elena, can't say it.
This is the same. This is the backyard again.
Okay, this is a much better picture of the backyard. Much better, minus get the car out of the way.
Yeah.
But this is a much better angle. This goes like, oh, look, we actually have backyard. right? The other picture where you saw some backyard in the neighbor's house, no bueno, not good. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So this is much better angle, but you don't want a car. And if you had a wide angle lens or that slight wide angle lens, you could get the garage, which I'm guessing is right here.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be able to stand in this corner over here, and you'd be able to get the garage and the house. Then you can see a better perspective of how it lays out, right? How the property is laying out. Okay, here's where it becomes, and we all have listings like this, guys. I'm just telling you right now, we all have them, okay? And you're all going to come across them, so you have to figure out how to deal with them. So, wow, we don't want the fan. The fan makes people think the house doesn't have air conditioning, or if it does, it doesn't work. And if they really don't have air conditioning, it's okay, but we do not need fans in the picture to tell people that it does not have air conditioning. Okay, so any box fans, take them out of the way. If you have window units, they're fine. If that's what they use for heating and cooling, that's great. But just fans standing up, no. You need to get them out of the picture. See this green rug? Pull it out of the way. We don't want green and red rugs. And here's the deal. You don't have to remove these things, and you don't have to tell people that they can never have the stuff back in their house. It's just for the photos. You've got to get the stuff removed for the photos, and then put back. You can put it back. It's fine. When people, you're trying to draw the people in to come see the house, right?
I
And
actually forgot about the rugs. That was my fault. I thought
that's
about that and I forgot. But she's, because of his wife and how she lives here, she happened to be gone for a week, which is good. This is all kind of taken up again. So I had to there was a bunch of stuff here that I had to take out,
yeah. Well, and
like
I'm
in the
sure.
left corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's what I would say here, just for this room. And then again, when you've got a wide angle lens, you can stand in the corner and, or I would do a, if you're taking your, just don't take your own photos, but you should not be going, what is this? Horizontal people?
Vertical.
You need a
Portrait.
horizontal picture, not a vertical. You're making the room look so narrow, and it looks like all these pictures that you've got, they're all vertical. And
Does
you
that
need,
upload okay to your MLS? Because like I feel like certain pictures don't, they look really weird on MLS.
so vertical ones actually get smaller when we upload them
Okay.
in our MLS. So
All right. Yeah.
horizontal is better, but
Okay.
anyway, so that's what I would say on here. You can't see. So here's the problem with not having wide angle. You look like you're selling furniture, right? I can see a front door. By the way, I see a person at the front door. That's not good either. We don't want people in pictures. But you're not selling furniture. And right here, because of the narrow view of the room, I
Mhm.
cannot see how big this room is. Right? All I can see is a couple chairs, and I don't know what we're looking at. It's not beneficial. It's not helping the listing. Again, no idea. What is this a picture of? Love you, but I don't know what this is. Are you highlighting the vinyl windows?
They put new windows in.
Okay, so that's okay, but you don't need to take a picture of the window.
Okay.
There are so many other things in there that you can take a picture of. Jackie's asking if I can show a picture of a listing when I'm done, so you can see the difference. 100%. I will. I will pull one up that's side by side as well, so you guys can see. Because I've had these. We have old listings. It's not like we don't have old listings with old people with lots of crap. We all do. Okay, but we don't need a picture, and it's crooked. Okay, so we don't need a picture of that. If you're going to take a picture of this, it's great because it looks like a nice enclosed, sun porch. This stuff has got to be moved. So wear your tennis shoes, guys, and move the stuff. Okay? Put it back if you want, or stack it in one corner, or ask if they have a shed, or help to put it in the garage. Whatever it is that you need to do, it would be beneficial to go put it in their garage if they can. And you don't have to say to them, you have a lot of crap, we need to move it, right? I mean, you can tactfully say that, but what we want to say to them is we want the space to look as big as possible. So we need to just remove any excess things that we aren't using right now because we want the space to look big. Okay? So, okay, picture, door needs to be shut, but you need to remove this stuff. This one isn't bad. I would remove the rug just so it's not detracting. But it's not, this isn't a bad photo. This one I wouldn't even bother because now it looks like we're selling whatever thing that she's got on the wall. This right here is much better, right? Because it's highlighting the room and not highlighting just a corner and the stuff. Bathrooms are tough, especially when they're small, but right here, guys, do not ever forget this. We are not selling shower curtains. We are not selling shower curtains. We're not selling cars. Okay. Open the shower curtain. People want to see what's inside the shower. They want to see if it's a tile, is it a fiberglass tub surround, what the condition is. Even if it's not in good condition, you don't want to be hiding it. So you need to open the shower curtains every single time. Pull it back to the left side so it's not in the way. And if there's shampoo and conditioner and crap in there, you better believe you got to move it out. And then you can put it back when you're done. Same with this right here. We don't want this bar of soap and whatever sitting. This is a small enough vanity as it is. So just take the stuff off of it, take the picture, put it back. Okay. And when you have, again, a better lens, you're able to get inside a little bit better and not just get the door jam on these. So it helps immensely in those small spaces. Plus you'll have, got a window in there, it looks like. So we want to see that we've got some light, and it looks like it's tile. So it looks like it's not a bad shower with maybe an older like cast iron tub. That's what it looks like to me. And so it's not in bad shape. Not bad. I do watch really closely to see if I've got corners of furniture that's kind of detracting or poking out. So you'd want to be a little bit more to the side on this one to get the angle of the room, and maybe get an angle where you can see a closet is good. Or I usually do 2 angles in a bedroom, one where you can kind of see the window side, and then we go to the other side and take one where you can be able to see the closet. If it has a closet, sometimes they don't because they're old houses. All right here, just don't even take a picture of this room, or you got to help them clean it up. Okay. Yeah, you could. So if you can't remove the stuff in the room, just don't even add this picture in, is what I would say. This is not helping anyone to have this picture. Or try to just take the pills down off of the desk, maybe, would be really helpful, because that's probably the most attracting thing that there is. And then take it from a different corner. So find the best angle where you're not getting such a great shot of all the stuff. And that's probably what I would say there. And if you really can't, like I've had rooms where people have so much junk in them and they just can't, like it's stacked up. I just don't even take a picture of that room. Or if you do take a picture, like it's good so you have it on file in case somebody says, hey, is there another room? And they're specifically asking about the house, then you can send them an additional picture and just let them know it hadn't been cleaned out. But I wouldn't market it with that. Yes, it is overwhelming with your first listing. Please don't stress out. We're going to fix this. That's why we're doing this. Okay. And I wish somebody told me this, but this is what I tell every single one of my agents. So do not feel bad that I'm picking you apart. And this is every listing. This is what we do on every listing. So, okay, when it comes to kitchens, people have junk, right? They have stuff. Remove the towels. Take everything off the counter. Sometimes you can leave, like I leave the knife block. I'll leave a little thing here or there, right? But everything else usually needs to come off. Sometimes the coffee pot can stay because that's hard to move and we don't want to be messing with their coffee pot sometimes. But what I tell them, so if this couple was freaking out, this is what you tell them. We're going to move it just for the photo. I'm going to put it right back. That's it. It's not like you're taking their stuff forever. It's not like you're making them put it away. And I always tell them, you have to live in the house. So I'm not going to make it so it's so uncomfortable for you, right, that you can't live in your house. But we want to sell it, right? And we want to sell it for the most money possible. And by doing these things, it will help us to sell it for the most money possible. That's the kicker. Okay. And again, wide angle lens or getting from a different angle or going horizontal, you have got to get, you didn't screw up. You're fine. Stop. You're just fine. You're learning. You're going to rock it. Stop it. Okay. You're just fine. Okay. So if you can stand back in a different corner and take a little bit wider photo, because I'm guessing this kitchen's a little bigger than what the photo's making it look like. And you probably have some counter space, I would think, to the right hand of the stove. So we want to either you could take one, I wish you could see me pointing here, but you could take one from this side, just directly looking at the cabinetry. That would be a good one, so you can see like the whole cabinets. And then you can take one maybe from, one of the other corners so that you can be able to see all the dining space portion.
I can see you pointing.
Okay. Oh, you can't with the pointer? Okay, good. I'm over here waving my hands and you guys, can you see me? I guess I'm probably a little square in the top corner, huh? I'm all like waving my hands. Okay. This one, again, move the stuff to one side and then take a picture from that side so that you don't get all the stuff in the picture. Okay, you don't have to go take all this into the garage, whatever. It looks like you can always hide it around this little corner too. This comes in with the wide angle lens. We look like we're selling a bed and it's really hard to see how big the room is. So what people are looking for with the listings is how big is the space? What can I fit in there? What does it look like? And when we use our own cameras, that's the biggest problem that we have is you cannot see the amount of space that actually exists in the area. And that's what we're selling, right? That's what we want to see. Right there, it looks like it's a small room and the bed takes up all the space. Here, it looks like this is probably a weird, like come up the stairs, kind of weird, sort of lofty area. So that's probably a tough one. I would get rid of the pill bottles and try to get back on the corner as far as you can so that you can, even if you have the wide lens, and this was what I would be doing, you would actually be able to get this living area plus your staircase coming up. That's the difference between a standard camera and a little wide angle lens, right? So then you can see how it is in relation to each other and it makes it look, like a little bit more space. Okay, so that's it. Okay, we are going to look really quick at I'm going to read your description. Okay, yes, 6 saves, that's great, lots of views. People save stuff when they're not ready to move, by the way. Okay, so the location of this bungalow is desirable and accessible to schools, parks, recreational activities, golf course, public transportation, and shopping. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I don't know if you took my description class. I will be super kind and I'm going to repost that for you guys to watch. So I actually came up, there is a formula, believe it or not, because I totally made it up, but there's a formula for how to write a description. And I will tell you what is, I don't have it sitting here. I will tell you what is wrong with saying this first. Okay? Here's a question for you. Are you selling the golf course or the public transportation or the shopping? We're not selling those things, right? And then we go on to the golf course located across from the home, which is great. It's not bad to add these things in, especially when you don't have a lot of great things to say about a property, but they need to be at the end, right? We're selling the house. We want to draw people into the house. You're going to be our test subject, by the way, because I'm going to help you make changes to this, and you're gonna stick it back up, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, and then there's a trick to that too. I will tell you my trick to that. Okay, so all this stuff needs to go at the end. It's a whole lot of it. It's great. People can Google that. They can figure out the areas. We want to highlight all the things in the house. And if you can't come up with enough good things to say about the house, why would they want it? Right? So this home provides an eat-in kitchen, pantry off the kitchen, and formal dining room. It also has a screened-in porch, den, office on main level. Per owner, the following improvements will save a new owner money. I would not even say that, but that's okay. We'll keep going. A new roof was installed 2019, new windows in 2015, new water heater installed in 2021. You spelled heater wrong. Yep, I know. We all have to check it. Glass block windows and basement, seller offering 1-year home warranty. Okay, so what we're missing out of this description is why we want to live there, right? A little bit about you've got to highlight. It's good that it's got we do want to say it has a new roof, new windows, new water heater. We have all those things, right? We do want to say that. That's great, but you're going to live in the house, right? So hold on just a second. I'm getting under my desk. Oh, see, I knew I had it in my stack of junk. Okay, here we go. So the first thing when we are doing a description is we want to welcome them to the house, right? So welcome to your welcome to your new home. Welcome home. Move in ready. Like some sort of verbiage that says like welcome to this beautiful home. Okay? It's still a beautiful home. It's still going to be somebody's beautiful home. It could be a first-time home buyer's beautiful home, and they're going to think it's the most amazing thing in the whole world. Right? So you have to have some sort of greeting at the very beginning or a declaration. Then we want an overview. So you mentioned nothing about having a detached garage, right? I care that there's a garage. Most men care that there's a garage. So we definitely want to mention that there's a garage. So some sort of overview. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom on 0.22 acres with a 2-car garage. 2-car detached garage. Right? Some sort of overview. What is it? And yes, can they scroll down and can they see what the features are and what year it was and how big the lot is and how many bedrooms? Yeah. But do people get that far? Not usually. Right? We have got to draw them in first. So, overview. What it is that we're looking at. Okay? Then we're going to highlight. We're going to highlight the kitchen, the dining, the living room, the main areas of the home. We're going to highlight those. So you're gonna so it's got a cozy kitchen. It may not be giant, right? But it's cozy. Like beautiful white cabinets. Like what does it have? Why would you want to live there? Why is somebody else gonna want to live there? So you've got to have something to say, because if you can't say something nice about the house, you're gonna have a real hard time talking somebody else into buying it. Right? It could be, ready for you to make it your own. Like, yeah, does it need new flooring and new paint? Full on, it does. It's still 1950 in that house, or 1970 when they replaced that carpet. But they can come in and they can make it their own. It's a solid home. Is it solid? That's a good word to use, right? It may not be remodeled, but it's solid. Then you want to highlight, of course, like your bedrooms, bathrooms, whatever. Is it a great, is it a split floor plan? What is it? And honestly, because of the way the pictures are, I can't tell the way it is. I can't tell when you walk in, it opens up to a beautiful living room with a lot of windows, right? Tons of natural light. Looks like there's lots of windows to me. I love light, right? And it's not lying. It's not lying. I'm going to always refer back to my dead cat house, you guys. I had to freaking sell the house that had 5 dead cats in it. It was the most disgusting, smelly thing in the whole world. And how do you come up with something to say about a freaking dead cat house? Right? I had to find the positives. That one, it was the land. That one, it was the opportunity. Right? You have to find something, because if you can't, and everything has value. Every property has value. Even the dead cat house. Even something like that. Everything has value. It's in the eye of the beholder, and it has value for who? There is somebody out there that this house is good for. So let's describe the house a little bit better so that they can know it's good for them, okay? Yes, saying that there's a pantry, that is a good thing. You don't need to say pantry off kitchen, right? You don't want to say pantry off kitchen. What are my top highlights on this house? Okay, we'll get to that too. And I will tell you, it is hard because I can't tell very well from the pictures. I really can't. I know. I love you. It's okay. But it's really hard to tell from the pictures. So how's the floor plan? Is there something positive about the floor plan? I think it's got a cute kitchen. I really do think it has a cute kitchen. And I love all the windows. And the updates are great. When you talk about, if you don't have, it's just got 1 bathroom, right? Okay, so it's got the 1 bathroom. So it's not like you have a whole lot of like wonderful things to say about the bathroom that's not updated, right? But is it a cast iron tub? That's great. I would highlight that it's got a cast iron tub for sure. Cast iron tubs are solid, right? I love cast iron tubs. People love those. They're coming back in, by the way. What about your heating and cooling? If you have anything that's been updated on that, new furnace, new AC, that when you get, and again, I will post this for you guys on the replay in the boost group. I'm not going to put my list for this one. I'm not going to put it up on YouTube. Okay. But I will put this PDF in the boost group. for you guys to have access to for the order of how you describe a house, and it will really help. But any important updates, then that's when you're going to start to hit those toward the end. And what you want to do is not say a new roof and new windows and new water heater, right? You're repeating the same words over and over. So it needs to be strung in a sentence that's more like, and don't say they're going to save a new owner money. We don't want it, like, that's just not classy. Just don't say that. So it is, wonderful updates have been done. It's got a brand, you don't say it's got a, you say brand new roof, like 2019, new windows, new water heater. Like, you don't have to say all the years. They can ask you for more information about that, or you should have them on your property disclosure, is my guess. So you don't have to name all the years in the description. The other thing is you've only got so many characters that you have to be able to use. So you want to use those characters the best way possible. So being wordy is not going to be a good idea. You want to dial that down and be able to get in as much information about the property as possible. Is it got metal siding? That looks like a metal siding to me. Okay, it's got low maintenance metal siding. Right? Hey, it's not vinyl. Like, vinyl cracks and vinyl melts, and great. It does have low maintenance metal siding. It doesn't need to be painted. That's positive. That doesn't cost people money. Right? So you don't want to do that. So yeah, I mean, I'd say low maintenance metal siding. Heck yeah. It's got a quaint yard. I don't know if it has sprinklers, but you can say it's got sprinklers. Okay, no sprinklers. That's fine. But it does have nice yard. Right? Good space, nice yard, detached garage. The detached garage is going to have to come at the beginning because that's a big highlight. That's a good sized double car garage. And what I would do, I would put the dimensions of what that garage is. It looks like it's probably like a 20 by 24, 20 by 20, whatever it is. Put the dimensions in your description. Because you know what that says to men? Oh, I can fit 2 cars, or I can fit my hot rod, and I can fit my tools, or I can fit whatever, right? You want to be able to put that in there. And then at the end, you can add in that is if you have more space left, right? I don't know how many characters everyone's individual MLSs have. Our MLS has like 520 or something like that. So if I still have characters left to spend at the end, and I totally just got water all over me, awesome. Okay, if I have characters left at the end, then I will say it's close to parks, schools, golf course, that sort of thing. And try to bring that down so that it's not so long. You want to highlight it. Remember, we're not telling a long story. We're doing highlights. Highlight reel. Okay? All right. Awesome. I also have a list of words that you can use. Try not to use the same word over and over. It's beautiful, 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 right? Say beautiful once. Say open, spacious. So I do have a list of words that I'll go through and use. But when you have a lot of windows, I always will add in that it's got a lot of natural light. Because that's a really great thing. People love natural light too. So, okay. If you, another tip for just listings in general is that if you do start to run out of room for all the characters for your description, turn your ands to ampersands. Right? I start to do some things that are not necessarily correct English to where I will omit non-important words like some of the thes or it's. If it still makes sense, if the sentence can still make sense with removing one of those like itty bitty words, take it out so that you can fit all the important stuff in there. Okay? And then if you have, and this isn't going to be with this listing, but if you have a big listing that has so much stuff and it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Because I can't like get all in these characters. That's when you'll put a link to Linktree, and then you can be able to go post a longer description and additional photos if you need in Linktree. And I'll post that. So I'll have the $3 million one I'm doing right now. I will have that up toward the end of next week. And then you'll be able to see the whole gamut of everything that you can stick, just some ideas of what you can stick in Linktree. I will do sometimes like a W / for with instead of putting the whole word with in there. That will help dial down your characters a little bit too. Okay, don't be down on yourself. you're learning what to do better and how to fix this. So let me tell you my trick, okay? So you're going to take this, we've talked about it, right? See if you can find a photographer and go redo photos. You really need to. And max out, if you can, the number of photos that you can put online. It's a small house. You may not. You may end up with like 25 to 35. I'd say probably 30, 35. But try to max out your photos as much as you can. Of course, with pleasing stuff. When you make changes, this is the deal here. If this was my listing, or let's say that I was picking up this listing, okay? And this is a good lesson for sale by owners as well. When they do this for sale by owner, or you see that, okay, that's a good note. If you see that like something was up for sale, it didn't sell, why didn't it sell? All those things I just told you, that's why. 100%. So is it the price? Probably not. If you pulled comps and your bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, age, kind of condition of the home, if that met and this was your actual price, then it is not a price issue. Okay? I would change all the other things first. However, let me tell you my trick. My trick is I'm going to go through, I'm going to change the description, I'm going to update the photos. When we do that, in our MLS at least, you do not receive an update. Okay, when everyone has, when there's people subscribed to listings out there, they don't receive a notification of an updated listing, an email, if you change photos. They don't receive an updated email if you change a description. So here's what happens. If people go in and make changes and you update it, and that's great, you're not broadcasting it. So you have got to do a miniature price reduction after you make the changes. Okay, so order of operations, you're going to go through, you're going to change your description, you're going to update your photos, and then once that's all saved, you go in, of course, with the permission of your seller, and you're going to do like a $500 reduction. It doesn't have to be huge. You can drop it by 1,000 if you want. I don't care. It just has to be something, because once you do that reduction, everyone who's subscribed to Zillow searches, Realtor.com searches, your MLS searches, they will now receive an email because there is a reduced price on the property. So now, and then the other trick is change your front photo. So I liked something like this angle a whole lot better than the other one that you had. Although without the truck, right? And you may want to kind of cut it off like closer to here, angle it a little bit different so you can get a little more of the fence and the drive. Is this the driveway for this house? No? Okay. So you get what I'm saying though, right? Not just a direct, like straight on like this one, because, and that's not a horrible photo, but back it up a little bit, get maybe a little bit of an angle or something. Change the front photo, because what that does is catches people's attention where they think it's a new listing that's come out. I would even bet to say you could take a really good one from the backyard with the detached garage if you could get the wide angle. Okay. Okay. That being said, we have a couple comments. I'm gonna read really quick, and if anybody else has any comments, put them in. So, okay, they are supposed to be moving out on September 1st, supposedly. Great, that's in just a few days. What is it? We've got 4 or 5 days. Awesome. Tell them your plan, and if they get moved out, then go take new photos. If they're that close to moving out, hang tight for a second. As long as they're okay hanging tight, change your description up. You can do that now. And then when they move out, then you get your new photos. Okay? And then, yes, at that time when you change everything, you also could schedule an open house at the same time. So let's say you get everything changed, updated on a Wednesday, schedule your open house for Saturday. And now here's the order of operations again, you guys, really important. Go in and schedule your open house before you do the price drop. Okay? That's because then when you do the price drop, the notification for the open house will show up on everybody's email. I know that sounded, I said that really weird. So people don't usually, who are subscribed to listings or subscribed to MLS feeds and whatnot, they don't receive notifications for open houses coming up. They do receive notifications for house price drops, right? So if you then have a price drop, you want your open house to already be on the books. So then you do the price drop. Then they have the new photos. They think it's a new house, or it's one that's now catching their eye because it's much better presented. And then they go, oh, look, there's an open house. We could go on Saturday. So you want to take advantage of all those free things that you have. It's just the order of operations that you do them in that makes it very important and makes them worth doing too. You get the biggest impact out of it. That's what it is. It's simple stuff. It doesn't cost money, and you don't have to, right? You don't have to drop the price to $199. If for some reason this does not sell 2 weeks, even a week, you should start seeing activity pick up. If you don't see activity pick up, depending on what your days on market are in your area, you may need to be under 200. You may need to drop to 199.9. There's a threshold there for buyers, especially in that lower price range. So you may need to drop to 199.9. So it's kind of tough. 207.9, you might as well put it at 215. Same difference. It's not much different, and you're still over 200. Make sense? Oh, I'm clicking on crap. Now it disappeared. Okay, I'm going to get in. If you guys want to hang tight with me for a second, I'm going to get off here. And we did have, Jackie says, she had times when she couldn't afford a photographer, but a friend told me to look for a college that offered photography classes and ask for a senior. They'll take the photos and their professor will help them. You could do that too. You could do that too. Here's part of the tough thing, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. We're in a high stakes game with real estate, and you have got to be prepared. When you get into this, you have got to be prepared to spend a little bit of money. You really do. And it may be a bit of a gamble sometimes. Everything's a gamble. But if you don't throw yourself out there, then you're going to have a really hard time making it. You're going to have to put it on the line a little bit. If you're serious about taking this job seriously, right? If you really want to make some good production, you can't be like, I really can't spend $100. Well, yeek. I mean, you're going to have a really rough time because you do have to spend a little bit of money to make money. And I'm not saying you got to go out and buy $500, dollars a month in leads. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're looking at your presentation for your property, stuff like that. It matters, right? It really matters, and you better be prepared to spend a little bit to make it worth it. Okay, I got to remember this address, so give me a second. Hold on just a second. So I'm going to pull up a listing, and very similar to what we have going on with yours. Let's see. It is sold. That's not what I want. Boogers, just a minute. I think it was on Park. Pet. On Park Street. Street name, Park. Okay, I will find this. So this is, how did what sell? Oh, we'll look at it. Okay. Give me one sec, people. Because this wasn't in my plan. So now I'm off. Oh, there it is. I did find the address. Okay, good. Okay, 684 South Park. Heck yeah. Let's get that pulled up here. 684 Park. All right, awesome. Here we go. You want to know why pictures matter? This is like classic case, and I've done this multiple times, and it's super fun. So that's why I got all excited when I'm like, yeah, let's tear apart the listing. Not because the listing's bad, but because you can do it better, and I'm going to show you why. Okay? So let me screen share here, if I can, because I'm super challenged today. Okay, here we are. Okay, this is my MLS, so just ignore that. Okay, here is, right here, listing. And this is also a really good thing to understand. It's not always a price issue, okay? Not always a price issue. So here we go. We're going to look at the pictures. I'm going to go kind of fast to this so I don't take up like your whole life because it's almost 11 o'clock. But this is really important lesson. All right, dude, would I want to live there? I'm telling you right now, no. But just look through the pictures, and I'm going to show you when I relisted it, okay? Again, we're not selling cars or trucks or furniture or treadmills or mirrors that aren't hung on the wall. That's crooked. That's a bunch of crap, right? Sorry. I'm going to keep going. Oh, and that's it. No, that's not it. Oh, there we go. That error disappeared. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, there is a plant back behind this, but heavens to Betsy, we don't have to highlight it that much, right? This listing, we're not selling a direct TV satellite either. I could do this all day. Or cars. Or cars again. Okay, this is the listing. Okay, this listing, client calls me frustrated. They had been 253 days on the market. 253 days, you guys. Okay, description. This is beautiful, mature home located close to the park, the river, the nearby shopping. Huge open floor plan with large living room, semi-formal dining. Very functional wood stove will guarantee a cozy and toasty inside refuge from the cold winter weather outside. What? Okay. Tells me nothing about the house. Huge fully fenced backyard with newly planted trees and plenty of room for playtime, barbecues, family gatherings, and more. You know we can barbecue at every house. Did you know that? So we don't really have to highlight that all the time that you can barbecue at a house. You must see this and walk through the property to fully appreciate its value and worth. Come look. All right. They fired him. Okay. 253 days, frustrated, fired him, gave me a call. I, within 1 day, had their house back up on the market. I did not change the price. It was not a price issue. Okay. It was a agent issue. Here's the new pictures. Does that even look like the same house? No, not even the same house. It is the same house, by the way. Same kitchen, same dining. Can you see the angle? Do you see what I'm talking about the wide angle lens? It's not fisheye, it's not distorted, but I can see how the layout of the house is, and that's what's important in drawing people in. Now you can see how big the kitchen and dining and everything is, right? Removed the mirror, of course. Highlighting the fireplace, always good. People like to see fireplaces around here. Interestingly enough, I didn't even have them paint the ceiling. They had taken a row of cabinets out. All we did was kind of clean up the top of the cabinets. I didn't even have them paint the ceiling. I always do multiple photos of the kitchen. Is this the most beautiful kitchen in the whole world? Heck no. It is not the most beautiful kitchen. They're old cabinets, right? But we're looking at the space. We have tons of counter space, tons of cabinet space. There's still positive things to highlight here, right? I always have multiple pictures of kitchen, dining room. People love them. It's important to your living room. Okay, here's another angle. We went behind the couch. Now you can see how big this living room is. We're not highlighting the couches. We're highlighting the space in the living room. Right? Again, another angle because living rooms are important. And it's not highlighting the couch. She actually had this house very clean. I didn't really have her do much, you guys, to this. Super small bathroom. Look how itty bitty that sink is. It's real similar to what yours is. But we got the shower curtain open. You can see like what's going on in there. Everything's off of the sink. Kids' beds are made. We see the closet. Had to clean the kids' beds off there too. I don't mind making a bed. It is not like against my, pride to make somebody else's bed. I do it all the time. Okay, other bathroom, same thing. It's not a huge bathroom, but we can see not just the tub. We can see not just the vanity. You can see how it's laid out. That's why the angle is so important. Laundry. They have stuff, but it's nicely folded and situated. Great, right? Then it's okay. All right, do you see the angle here? We know there's buildings and stuff back here, but we're not just taking a straight on picture of all those buildings. You can see this is a huge backyard. They've got outbuildings. I should have moved that hose. I just noticed it. But they do have outbuildings, really good space back there. Dead on shot of the back of the house, which is important to have so they can see that too. And the other side of the yard. Get some different angles. People want to know what they're buying, right? And that's the disservice that people do all the time. They can't see what they're buying. And then here's their outbuildings and front porch. Okay, you want guesses? I'm gonna take you off now. Okay. Oops. Okay. So that house, I actually got turned into the MLS for it because the guy thought that I did something shady, which I did not. He just was pissed off because he couldn't sell it and I could. One day, 4 showings, the first day that I put that up. By the way, we took it off the market. She took it off the market, canceled it. And within, it was a day or 2, I had it back on the market for her. I mean, we busted butt, got the photos, everything, right? Got it on the market. The description, changed it. Welcome to this nice home. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with a large yard. The open kitchen and dining is great for entertaining. Plenty of cabinet and counter space. Concrete counters even. It flows nicely into the dining room with original hardwood floors. Living room is open as well to the kitchen dining area and is very large. Includes a wood fireplace, but also has central heating and air conditioning. Outside, you have mature shade trees, full sprinklers, 2 outbuildings, and low traffic street, close to the park too. Do we then care, if you go back to what the other guy talked about, that we could be cozy and toasty next to the fireplace when it's cold outside? No, we don't, right? So the same thing that I'm going to post for the order of operations for how you create a description, right there. We can still say we're close to the park, but that comes at the end. We're going to highlight anything that's good about the house. We had 4 showings the first day, and we had an offer on it, and we sold for $145,000. We were $5,100 over the list price in one day. Okay? So that is why this is so important, and that is why I'm saying it is not always a price problem. The problem can be many things, and you need to look at all those avenues. You check the price as well, but check out all the avenues first before you go directly to, oh, I just need to lower the price. No, you don't. And even on listings that I have that I still do now, if I'm not getting the traffic that I think that I need, I'll go back and look, and I'm like, okay, is there something that I missed? Is there something that's being perceived incorrectly? Is there something I need to do different? Do I need to change up the description? Like, what's going on? Do I need to change the front photo? What do I need to do? Right? So you can do that with any of your listings. The cool thing is, once you master this is how you then get your for sale by owners. This is how you get your expires. Because you're not just calling it like an expired. You're not calling it just saying, hey, so expired. Do you want to still sell your house? I'd love to sell your house for you. Well, everybody can say that, right? Every agent can say that. But what we can say is, hey, your listing didn't sell and I can tell you why. And if you're still interested in selling, we can totally get it done for you, right? And why can we get it done? Because we're missing key components for the listing. 100%. You said if you have a great listing presented well and the buyers show up and they're disappointed, not expecting what they saw in person. That house looked just like that. I mean, the photos were bright, but that's what the house looked like. So you do have to make sure that you're not misrepresenting or doctoring photos or doing something that's going to make it look like, it's like it not like it really isn't, right? You don't want to misrepresent. That's not what I'm saying. But there's no misrepresentation. 100%, you know what I think? The first guy that listed that property, he misrepresented it and made it look like a freaking trailer house. He made it look like a ghetto trailer house is what he made that look like. When it was on a nice street in a nice area and it was a beautiful home, it was a solid house, and it had a lot of positive qualities to it. So you don't want to exaggerate the truth ever. But there are always positive things. I think you're probably having a hard time with that balance between, I said ghetto, I did say ghetto, Jacqueline. So you're having a hard time because you are looking at it and you're seeing the negatives, right? You're looking at it and you're like, wow, it has a whole lot of updates to do. It has this. You're picking out the things that are wrong, which is okay. You have to know what has to be done to it, but you have got to find the positives in it, and there's always positives. Let me give you one more story, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Unless you have questions, post questions, and we can do some Q&A if you have anything going on. So there was a house that my assistant took a client out for me to show. And she does great. She's licensed, so she can open doors for me if I'm not around. I was out of town for the day. So she took my client out. He's picky as heck. She shows up, shows him the house, and he didn't like it. He picked it apart. He talked about all the negative things, right? And it wasn't the house for him. So he calls back, I don't know, a week later, and we see a few other houses, and then he adds this one to his list. I didn't know he'd seen it. I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't know that was the one she'd taken him to see. So I take him to see the house. I'd never been to it before, right? So I'm looking at, okay, like what's great about this house? Or wow, is this really a dump? Or it's a lemon and we should run. It's not something you should buy. So we're going around and looking at the house. There was a lot of positives to this house. There really was a lot of positives. He had not seen them. And my assistant's not trained to insert her opinion. She doesn't have the same relationship with the buyer that I do. So she didn't really say anything, right? He'd make a comment and she'd be like, yep, okay, and just kind of let him have his opinion. So we walked around together and his wife was there this time. And I was like pointing out all the positives. Like the space was great. The kitchen was remodeled. He's like, well, the master bedroom's small. You know what? Take out this wall. You can get this at a cheap enough price. You can take out this one wall, make a huge master. You're in great shape. It won't cost you very much, right? Had a basement apartment. Oh, that's great for your kid. Like that's what you were looking for. Helping to reiterate sometimes those positive things that they don't always think about. And that's not the direction that our brains tend to go to. We tend to see the negative, right? Unless you're like a really overly positive person, we tend to come up with the negative. So walked around, talked about it. We got about 3/4 of the way done, and he goes, you're really selling me this house, Lisa. He's like, Kara didn't really sell me this house. You're really selling me this house. He's like, you're making it sound like it's so good. And I was like, well, it is good. There's a lot of really positive things about this house, right? They hadn't been pointed out. He wasn't thinking about it. So again, the house that you have, there's always something positive. The dead cat house, there was always something positive. It was a great place to rip that nasty manufactured home off of it and have it as a light industrial property. Rezone it, make it light industrial, right? It had a purpose. Every property has a purpose. You just have to find it. And then you got to sell it. That's it. I know what can be done to make it look great and how much it will cost. So that is good knowledge. So that is another point. If you have a house that maybe does need some maintenance things done to it or some remodel, great. Those are numbers that you need to know. So if you're going to walk through a house and you're going to say, okay, you don't like the flooring? Geez, Home Depot, $2 a square foot. You can have this sucker refloored with vinyl plank for $3,000. $2,000. You want that? Ask the seller for concessions. Negotiate it into the contract. You don't like the paint? It's going to cost you what, $3,000 to have the whole house painted? Or a Home Depot gift card of $400? You go buy your own paint, you do it yourself? What kind of budget are you on? What do you want to do? Right? It's not just this is what we have and this is all you get. You've also got to look at it from the bones of it. Great house. They've already updated X, Y, and Z. If you want to update the flooring and you want to update the paint, then easy peasy. This is how much it's going to cost. And you know what you could do? If you have a contractor, get a bid. Or even just go measure the square footage of the flooring yourself and find out what it would cost. Call Home Depot. You know they've got $2 a square foot vinyl planking. Great product. So find out what the install cost is. So then when you have people come through and their objection is the flooring's disgusting, I don't want this kind of flooring, I don't want to buy the house. Your rebuttal to that is, it costs $3,000 to replace all the flooring. You could definitely ask the seller to do that in concessions. Something like that, right? Take it off the price of the house. Keep the money in your pocket. Or have the seller pay $3,000 towards your closing costs. You keep that $3,000 instead in your pocket, and you pay for it yourself at closing or after closing. So you just have to kind of find the workaround. You just got to find a way to work with what it is that you have to do. So, oh, thanks, William. How did I pop up on your way? We're happy to have you. We haven't seen you here before. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. If you aren't, so if you subscribed, you got the Zoom link today, right? So then you should always be getting, every week, you'll be getting a notification of when the replay is up, if people weren't able to make it, and then also what the next week's training is going to be. I try to send it out Sunday. Sometimes I don't know what I'm training on. Like this came up like Sunday or Monday, and I was like, great topic. Let's do it, right? Because I like to train on something that's like realistic, right? Relative to what everybody's doing. So you'll get emails. Sometimes they're going to like randomly go to your junk mail. I don't know what to say. I do always post it in the Boost Facebook group as well. So if you're not in the Boost Facebook group, hit that, and then you can be able to see the notifications there. And then as always, you guys, this is like every week. We did this week for a $3 million listing I'm putting up for sale. This is the fun part. I do this full time. Like I'm an agent full time, like busting my hump, right? So all the new things that I get to learn how to do, I'm turning around and teaching you as well. So I've got a $3.2 million listing coming up. I never done a $3 million listing before, right? So we're learning how to do that because I'm making it up and we're like kicking some butt. So as I'm doing that, I'm actually teaching my Elevate group how to do that at the same time. That's a special training that I've added in there. We train every Wednesday in the Elevate group. Every Wednesday, so you get all sorts of information, but then the camaraderie, but then, yeah, Jackie, whoop, whoop, right? But then you also get additional trainings and specific to what you have going on as well. So there's a whole lot. And then I also have a 12 module training program that is all the basics of the business. My entire business model is what it is. So that's what that is. So if anybody's interested in joining that, until we're running out of days here, September 1st, next Wednesday, price is going up. So I'm at $9.97, which is insane for the amount of value that everyone's getting. That is weekly coaching, group coaching. Every single Wednesday, you get a one-on-one coaching session with me because I want to know who you are, how you are, what we need to do to help you. And then you also get the 12 modules that you can watch anytime that you want. Plus, we added in free leads. So we have a free lead system we're working through, and then you also get a planner. Did I miss anything? It's like so much stuff. So it's going up to $16.97 as of September 1st. So, okay, Cindy, so there is a change that I made. So no, $9.97 doesn't have to be paid every year, or even the $16.97. But I am going to, so originally the program was you went through the 10 or the 12 modules, you had 12 weeks of coaching, and then it was done, right? And then you were kind of out. And that's not what this ended up being. That's not what people needed. And I love that we continue to gather as a group and then we continue to grow. And I love to see everybody's progress. And so the weekly coaching just became a thing. Like you didn't just come in for a small period of time and then I kick you out and you're on your own, right? We're just together all the time. So what's going to happen is after your year anniversary from when you purchased the program, so it's all individual to when you each purchased, you will need to renew for $700 for the next year's worth of coaching. So that will keep you having access to all the modules if you need them. You'll probably be a pro by then, but you'll still have access to all the modules, and then you'll still get every single week you'll get coaching and the leads and the free leads. So that's going to kind of help offset all of that. So you're in for a year. If you still want to be in after that, then it's going to be $700 a year. So does anybody have any questions? Anything else? You got this, girl. I will go in right now and I will post the description. This is what it looks like. How to build a stellar property description. I will post this PDF in the Boost group so you guys have access to it. And that'll really easily help you go through and write your description. So you got it. And I'm excited. You got to have to come back and you're going to have to test progress. because it will make a huge difference. It'll be awesome.
I will. I'm gonna work on that actually this weekend. At least taking some outdoor pics right now. And then
Yeah.
I'll redo the description today.
Yeah, and you can swap out those outdoor pics right now. Get the cars out of the way, move the garbage cans, yada yada,
Right.
right, the hose and everything,
I
and get
am.
those
I
swapped out.
am. I have an open house tomorrow. I could do it early. I can go early and have him just, I'll park the car somewhere else. I'll have him put his car in the garage and
Yeah,
just kind
close the
of,
garage.
yeah, close the garage, of course.
Close the garage.
Yeah. And then redo the, at least the, what is it called? The, I'm not going to do any portraits, just landscape.
Yeah.
I
Oh
do
yeah.
have capability to do some wider angles and stuff on my phone. So
Try it. Yeah,
I'm
try
gonna
it.
play. I'm gonna play with it. This would be a good, it's a new phone, so I'm trying. So.
I will tell you one of the tricks with the photos and the lighting that shows up on the photos that I have in there. My photographer takes 3 exposures. So
Hmm.
she takes a really light one, a medium one, and a really dark one, and then she throws them into her program, and she has to merge them all together. Yep.
Hmm.
I pay a photographer. I pay her freaking $8,000 to $10,000 a year by the time I am done with her because I pay her $200 a shot, 225 bucks a shot to keep her exclusive to my brokerage. I don't want her working for other people, and so we pay her quite a bit. But just myself, right? When I'm putting up 50, 60 listings a year, then I'm paying her a lot. My husband had said to me, you could have bought a really nice camera, right? Like multiples over the last 6 years, 7 years, for what you paid her. But I don't have that skill.
Right.
I know when to draw the line. I can sell crap. I cannot get the angles and the photos. I'm getting better understanding some of the techniques that she uses, but I don't have the time, number one, and I don't have that skill. She
Right.
has the skill. So it is worth my $200 to send her out to do photos.
Oh,
100%.
for sure. It doesn't really behoove you, your business, to even
No.
waste your time on that.
But even when I started, I didn't take my own photos. I ponied up it was like 125 bucks a shot, and I ponied it up at the beginning, and that's just the way it went. It's
Where do
not.
you find them? Like, where's the
You can
listings?
Google real estate photographers. If you know, she full on. I go to church with her, and she did awesome portraits. She did great family photos,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Hey, what do you think about trying to do this?" And so she went and just researched. She was willing to research what she needed to use, right? What programs and what lenses and whatever, and she invested in it and took a chance on me.
Hmm.
And she started doing my real estate photos. And I had agents try to poach her from me, so that's why I upped her price. I
I
don't
see. I
I
do
don't
have a
share.
photographer. I have a
Yeah,
photographer that took work of my interior design work, but she actually does portraits and family and some furniture, which is interesting. So
yeah. Ask
I'll
her.
reach out to her. Yeah, I will. I'll have a talk with her.
Yeah, ask her because and they may really. She would rather do real estate all day long than to do family photos because it's easier for her, faster for her to edit them, and she doesn't have to deal with the people. And it's a great gig. It really
Hmm.
is. And now we've graduated to like the highlight videos, which I will post next week. We're doing one of this $3 million house, but we'll do these other highlight videos now too. So we just kind of continue to work together on it. But find somebody that needs the money, wants to learn, and is willing to show up when you need them to. Because that's the other thing. The reason why I had her be exclusive is because when I say like, okay, we've got 4 listings this week, and I need you this day, this time, whatever, she can do it because I'm not waiting. Some of the other photographers, they're a week and a half out. And I can't back up a week and a half, right? When people come, they're like, I want my house up for sale, and they usually want it done yesterday. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So I have to be able to say, yep, sure, we'll have photos done, tomorrow or the next day. We'll have you up for sale the day after that. It's like a 3-day process for me. You call me one day, we photo the next day, we're up for sale the following day. Like, we don't mess around at all.
Okay.
Don't have time. But that's how you start kicking in, like upping your volume though too,
Hmm.
right? And I don't drink coffee, people. I don't. No caffeine. They just go, 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 right? Natural high from selling stuff. Love it. Love it. So, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta bust a move out of here. So I will see you all Next week, I'm gonna be on a plane. I got to figure out what's going on when my flight is, but I might just repost the property description class. We'll see what happens. Or change it.